What's up, everybody? My name is Halvu, and this is the Halvu Moto Vlog. Welcome back. It's been a little while, but I'm here to announce that I just bought a 2017 KTM RC 390. That is a mouthful. Less than 6,000 miles. To be exact, I think it has about 5,400 miles, and he listed it as 5,700 miles, and when I got there, it was only like 5,350. I bought it in Modesto, California, and that's about an hour and a half drive from Sacramento. We picked it up on Wednesday. I asked my buddy to drive me down there. And that just so happens to be the day that the stimulus check hit my bank account. For those of you who don't know, Americans got a third round of stimulus checks, and I received $1,400. And I wasn't planning on buying a bike. I always look for used bikes. I always look for deals. But I just thought that was worth mentioning because it was just kind of neat how that happened, how those two things happened at the same time. So the thing about deals that I've come to realize, motorcycle deals at least, when you're browsing online, is that you have to act fast and you have to constantly be browsing because they don't last long, right? So just for reference, the 3 deals that I've found, I've been on that listing, or I encountered that listing, I stumbled across that listing within an hour of it being posted. And I just got real lucky every time, and it was just kind of a sign, and I don't believe in coincidence. And the universe has these little opportunities for you everywhere. You just got to be looking around, you got to be grateful, and they come, and they come, and they come, and they'll keep coming, you know? So that's what I believe. So the first one was my 2008 CBR 600RR, which I got for $2,500, same price as the KTM that I just bought, but it's a lot more bike. Granted, it is 10 years older than the KTM that I just bought, but it had, man, how much did, I think it had around 7,000 miles when I picked it up. Oh my God, it's terrible that I don't remember. But, you know, the condition of the CBR 600RR was just as good. If not, it was better. It was in better condition. Of course, some of the rubbers and the plastics, of course, have aged, 10 years longer than the KTM. But as far as cosmetic condition, it was definitely better. It was definitely cared for more. So the second deal was the CBR 250R, which was just price. It was $1,700. You can't really find anything like that for $1,700. It was still 2011, so still relatively modern, and good condition. Nothing glaringly wrong with it. But that one was just such a low price. And under 10,000 miles. I think it had around 7,000 when I bought it. So, it's crazy. You really can't find bikes for this price, right? For under $3,000, there's not much, right? So when they do pop up for under $3,000, that's like my first signal. Okay, what do we have here? And usually it's probably just like a Kawasaki Z. I've noticed there are a lot of those, or Facebook shows me a lot of those, right? It's not about what's out there. It's about what Facebook shows me. I've come to realize they are little algorithms or whatever. It's kind of sketchy, but anyways, generally nothing really catches my eye under that price point. But $2,500 KTM 2017, under 6,000 miles. That is definitely a deal if this is true. So message the guy right away. And I was the first one. I was the first one to reach out to him. When I picked up the bike, he told me that 300 other people messaged him after me. And he's a man of his word, he said, and he honored my deal. And he said a guy even offered him $2,900. So I just completely lucked out. When you see those deals, you got to know one when you see one, and you got to be ready to act fast. You got to have cash in hand, or you got to be willing to go to the bank, pull out the cash, and just do it. And you got to communicate with him, because there's so many flaky people out there. Just you saying, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm not messing around with you. And even when you say that, of course, a seller, anybody who's sold stuff before, you take it with a grain of salt. But just putting that out there, it sets the intention for both you and the seller. So, I bought it that night. We went out there that night and we picked it up, and it's in pretty great condition. It's not flawless. There's a scratch on the gas tank, but it's a great condition. 9 out of 10, I would say. And mechanical is all in order. I mean, it's too new to really have anything go wrong with it, unless you get really, really unlucky. So it's nice. It's a very light, thin bike, single cylinder, 373 cc's. It's fun around town, man. It's super fun around town. It's got enough punch to keep you happy under 50 miles per hour. Put a grin on your face, which is more than I can say for the CBR 250R. That one was just kind of vanilla, kind of bland. For me, I would say that bike is great for someone in the city who just wants to be economical with their mode of transportation. or someone who's just learning how to ride a motorcycle. Other than that, I really, once you learn, I don't see how a bike like that would necessarily be fun, or that specific bike. The CB300R that I had, the first motorcycle that I had, was super light. That thing was 310 pounds after I took off the fender and put on the lithium-ion battery. That's crazy. That's almost like dirt bike territory with a 286cc engine. I just wish it wasn't my first bike. I wish I had that bike again now with the skill and confidence level that I have now, because I would be absolutely ripping that thing, man. Which I didn't do back then because it was my first bike, and I pretty much sold it even before I got comfortable riding it. But the KTM, I'm going to get some footage riding it probably tomorrow and just do like an initial first impressions thing. But so far, I've rode it back from Modesto, which is an hour and a half drive. I didn't love the ride on the highway at all, just a light bike. It definitely gets up to highway speeds just fine, right? Like, just fine. It's not even an issue. So if you're wondering that, can the KTM RC 390 go on the highway? Of course it can. I mean, if you're saying, can my Toyota Corolla go on the highway? If you're saying that can, then this can go on the highway even better than that. You know what I'm saying? As a frame of reference, like, can my Civic go on the highway? Well, if your Civic can go on the highway, then certainly this KTM RC 390 can go on the highway. That's just about how much get up and go it has at those speeds. And 75 miles per hour, that's where I kept it at, and it was okay. The riding position is pretty relaxed. I mean, it's not as committed as the CBR 600RR, so it will be nice to have. But it's just more fun around town, for sure. It's just more fun around town. And the registration is paid up until July, which is great because I didn't have to pay any registration, and I'll definitely sell it before then. And, in a perfect world, $4,000 easy. So I would probably be willing to take maybe $3,500 in kind of like a worst case scenario. And, if nobody's willing to buy it, I'll just hang on to it until I find the right buyer. So that's what my plan is for the summer. Just hold on to it until the beginning of summer, and then try to list it then. But it's a fun secondary bike to have, and definitely get to experience a different bike. And it's good, make a little bit of money, not crazy amount of money, but just enough to make me happy enough that this is worth it. The endeavor. It's fun to go out and pick up a motorcycle. It's fun to experience a new motorcycle. It's fun to polish it up and get it ready for sale. I mean, I enjoy that. It's a good experience. Fun to take a little profit, and broaden my horizons, add another one to the collection of motorcycles that I've tried. So that's where I am, guys. If you guys want to know anything specific about the KTM RC 390, let me know. If you want to know anything about the CBR 600RR, or generally my thoughts about used or new motorcycles, that's really all I've got, guys. I will do some riding tomorrow on the KTM. I'll strap my GoPro to the helmet and get some footage, do a first impressions video. But other than that, guys, you already know that I wish you happiness, I wish you health, and I wish you unlimited joy on your motorcycling journey, wherever it may take you. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.